Always. You see all that on the line? Yeah, he's just on.
Oh, good. See how it goes. Did everyone sign this?
So I had a feature last night, and I hadn't seen it. Concentrating. He said, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Huh? I was learning, I don't, it was like part of it's supposed to be there. Is this what you sent me this?
Yeah.
I don't have this. Oh, I got a copy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, great. What's up, Jackie? How are you? There you go. How you doing? It's Brad. It's you. Oh, down good condition. I just see.
The last time we did the budget.
Yeah.
Because of it. Because I had to be connected to the. Passing that around.
Everybody's signing in, Lisa?
We're working on it, we're passing it around.
Okay. Okay, everyone, we're going to start this special budget meeting. Today is March 14th. We're at 11:02 a.m., I believe. I just want to make a special comment. There will be no comments taken at this meeting by the request of the commissioners. Just in advance of you realize that no comments will be taken. Madam Clerk, could you please call roll?
Mr. Malloy.
Here.
Mr. Bernard.
Here.
Mr. Hernandez.
Here. Just to start, I'd like it to be known by our residents and our taxpayers that this carryover had been brought to our attention by the prosecutor's office. We did realize that there was a carryover. However, the auditor did not provide the information.
That's not true.
Well,
Not true.
no, she provided no comments. The auditor
Tell the truth
provided.
then.
The auditor provided the information, but she did not provide the amount that we could utilize out of the carryover, which was asked. She left it to the commissioners. I just want to make that comment.
It was danced around. So the figure was there, but when the budget commission certified the budget and provided us their certified budget, that wasn't clearly explained that this could be part of the equation also at that time.
Right, and we haven't seen the auditor since, so. In addition to that,
I mean, I knew there was 14 million.
we did know. No, I'm not disputing that we knew. When I'm disputing, or I'm not disputing
You didn't know.
what we.
There's no comments.
What we did not know is about what amount of carryover could have been taken out until the prosecutor approached us and did say that the commissioners could draw on the carryover. In addition to that, the commissioners doing their due diligence have found that other communities of like size have taken up to 16.7, nearly 17% of the carryover amounts. That goes by different variables, resident count, depending on what the situation is with the county. Keep in mind that these monies are carried over to be delegated in the future for any kind of budget issues that we may have going down the road. So we have to be diligent about what we take out of the carryover. I just wanted to get that out there so our residents, our taxpayers know that these monies coming out will be delegated to certain departments, but it is important to save additional money for the future here for our Trumbull County and our departments. With that being said, I'll turn it over.
With that too, we did due diligence the last couple of days. The National Association of Counties, which monitors all the counties in the United States, they had the recommendation of the 16.7% the counties use as carryover. With that would bring us to about a little bit over $11 million we should keep on reserve according to their standards. And CCAO has the same thing, and it varied anywhere from 16.7 to 25%. Smaller counties differed from bigger counties when it came to the amount. Some counties operate on a shoestring. Rural counties in the middle of nowhere, some of our more rural counties in Ohio don't operate on much, so they their percentages are different, as far as that. But of our like size of where we are, the industry standard was 16.7% on reserve. We are over that with the 14 million. We're about $2.5 million above what is recommended to keep on reserve for a county of our size.
Okay, but and the only comment I have is that last year also they used, I think, 1.5 million out of the reserve, so this isn't something unique that hasn't been done in the past. So, we're gonna use, somewhere, around 2 million this time out of it.
Let's crunch the figures and see where we are.
Wherever we're at, but I would just like to caution all department heads and office holders that, you still need to streamline it. You still need to look at your budgets because, going forward next year, it's gonna be a little bit tighter, so, just wanna put everybody on notice that you're still gonna have to watch their spending.
Good comment, Commissioner. Yes.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
I think if I could start with that amount of money, that could patch enough holes that I believe there's no need for anyone to be laid off with the holes we're gonna patch here today with that. With the amounts that people want, if they streamline their departments, if they look at some creative things of ways to save money, I would also ask too that we extremely enforce the no overtime rule within the department so they can stay within budget. And if they do need overtime, they need the ones at least under us or under different department heads need to justify to that department head and justify to the board why that's needed. But just voluntary overtime for things, taking care of things on weekends and after hours that could be taken care of during the day will have to be scrutinized. When we look at different departments, pretty much every department had overtime. Board of Elections had, as we know, we talked about a lot of overtime during certain seasons. We're asking that maybe they get flex time a little bit, readjust their hours as much as they can within contracts that we have. Even the auditor's office had $73,000 in overtime last year. So we're asking that we be cautious of that because those are the types of situations that get us in financial trouble that we can't budget for. And with 911, we know that's a necessity a lot of times with the shortage of manpower. With the sheriff's department and the jail, we know we got mandates. We need so many officers for the safety of the jail. That some people are going to get overtime, but luxury overtime of just handing it out for people in certain situations, we're going to need to shy away from that or encourage comp time in lieu of overtime so that we still don't pay out more money than what we're expected to pay with this budget. The other thing I would ask is new hires, that they scrutinize and screen new hires as much as possible. We got a couple departments that have already said they've lost a few people, they're not going to fill them. I do think our county is too robust. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but as people retire, I think we've got 30, 40 years of people being added on, and I'll go ahead and say it as an elected official, there were in the past, there were friends hired and friends of friends, and there were jobs created for people in this government that made the departments more robust than where they need to be. And I'm not saying we're going to target anyone, we're not going to go after anyone, past sins or past sins, but with this board, I would like to see that we start to streamline government as people retire, as workloads dissipate, that we make this if we cut a few employees here and be more where we need to be, I think we'll be able to sustain ourselves budget-wise in the future. But it starts at the department level with every every job that comes up or every job that goes, we need to scrutinize that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, so with that in mind, where do you want to start? Do you want to start? I think that the Board of Elections is probably an area that the commissioners need to,
Well, do we just want to start top and work down?
we could
That's probably what it is.
start at the
Why start in
auditor.
the middle, let's start at the top.
That's the auditor.
So how much are we gonna allocate out of there? 2 million?
$2 million.
I would say no more than 2 million. I won't approve anything more than 2 million myself.
Oh, if we can keep.
And I want to leave that extra 500,000 above and beyond industry standards.
So that's, okay, so we'll say not more than 2 million then, right? It could be less. and not
Could be
more.
less, correct.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Auditor,
The auditor. She was at 3.356 is what she operated on last year. We know there's raises, we know there's streamlining needs done. I would recommend we put $400,000 to the auditor's office, 3.4. That puts her more than where she was last year. I think that should be enough to sustain no layoffs. I couldn't see why not. I mean, she'd have to really justify hard why you can't cut and operate on what you did last year, even if we give a little bit more money. But that's where I personally would like to be with that. She was awarded 3.2 last year. The actual was 3.3. And if we give 3.4, I think that's reasonable to think that the department head could stay within the lines there. Maybe they'll have some retirements, which we know they did one. We know they lost Mr. Masaki, who was a pretty hefty bill after 40 years of service. That's $100,000 hit right there easily, $100-some thousand hit. That's different from what she spent last year. That 100,000 will absorb some of the raises that are coming up there, and they haven't had their 4% raise or anything yet, have they? Or any type of contractual things. So we didn't get hit with that at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they're under an existing contract, Commissioner.
They got it. They got it.
They sure did.
well,
So Commissioners.
I'm good with the 400,000. Commissioner, you okay with that?
Well, let's just
Commissioner
pencil it in.
Let's pencil it in and see where we go.
See where we go.
All right,
I put the 3.4, but to answer your question, Commissioner Malloy, either if they're under a current collective bargaining agreement that has not been renegotiated since I've come on board, or auditor Yoder, and she inherited this CBA. Was a 5% increase in 2023, a 3% increase in 2024, and a 3% increase in 2025. This union got the highest percentage increase collectively at 11%. The board is held steady at 10% for my marching orders.
And who negotiated this?
Before my time, before it would have been Auditor Viviano, I'm assuming, I'm not sure.
Yeah, if it was 5% of 23, it would have been before.
I wasn't here, so I'm sorry. I don't.
That would have been before
No, it
him.
would have been Richard Roberts.
Here either. No, Richard was gone in 2022, 2020. He retired in 2021, I believe. We had 2
Right.
years without any.
Without anybody.
So. Sorry.
Mr. Lightner didn't come on until I was here in 23, so this happened before him. So this was an interim when we had no HR person, looks like, so
okay,
it
you
is what it is.
move to the prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor had 3.4 last year. They're asking for 4.4. They're at 4 million is where we have them now. I would like to put 300,000 there, just short of what he's
I
asking.
think that's a little personally.
He's asking for 4.4. You want to give everything that they asked for $1 million increase
Well, you
over
were-
last year?
You were, they were, I thought you said they were 3, or where were they?
They were 3.4 last year.
Right?
They asked for 4.4 this year. We got them at 400, or we got them at 4.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'd be good with, I'm good with 300, penciled in.
How about 350?
So you put 350 there with a pencil and make fine tune adjustments at the end. I have no problem with that.
Okay, move on to the sheriff.
Let's get the
500?
sheriff for a second. I'm thinking 500. But I think we go back to the end and see what we have left, and then that's what I would like to allocate toward the sheriff. This
Okay,
would be somewhere in that ballpark.
recorder,
She had 1.059. She asked for 1.175, we gave her 1.1. I think that's
are we good there?
just under, just like we did with the other two, they're just under what they wanted. I think that one's okay.
I thought she said that she could work with this.
And she did, and I applaud her for coming forth and being one of the elected officials that came forth that said, redid the math, she came back at us lower. And I applaud her for doing that, JK, thank you guys for working hard to do that.
Sorry, so what did you guys say?
The 1.1, what's that?
Okay, so we're looking at the courts.
I have to call those two.
The corner, I think we're good. And he said we were good.
Yeah. You want to skip the courts, go to the clerk reports? I know that there's a situation there.
Yeah. He operated on 1.19. He asked for 1.287. They're at 1, I would say 200,000 there. That puts him just short of where the rest of just like we did with the other two. We know there are some retirements coming up, there's some changes.
How much, 200?
That was a 1.2.
So you want to give them an additional 200?
So you want 1.5,
So
I want to make sure what I'm putting in is right.
1.4.
1.4, 1.5, what do you ask?
1.4.
You had that at 1.3 last time.
Yeah, we go another 200,000, that's what, 1.4?
no.
Oh, I'm sorry, you had them at 1 million, I'm so
We had them
sorry.
at
Oh, I'm sorry, okay,
You're looking
I'm
at
down
this
there
right
with
here.
you.
See that right in there, I'm sorry.
Actually, I'd like, if you look at their budget with their employees they have, I'd like for them to be at 1.250.
1,250,000.
Yeah, so we're that's 250.
So that's what the board is asking right here, 1.25. Just want to make sure.
Yeah,
So we're here,
Board of Elections. Figured 500,000 there.
We cut them pretty good to 1.2. I would like to see them at 1.5, which is what other counties around us.
You're
are
only
at.
going another 3?
So that's 3. So we're at 1.2 now is where we had them. So to give them 300 more. And in a slower year, I think that is doable, has been done in other areas.
all I'm gonna do is hand you out just the facts where they were at 2025 actuals, 2024, 2023, and 2022. I highly implore you to look at those numbers before you make your final decision.
23, 1.6.
So they were 2.1.
2023 was an off year, right?
So 2023 would have been your presidential election. No, I'm sorry, 2024.
2024.
Sorry.
So 23 is
So
1.6.
2 years prior to that, they were about 1.6, 1.5
But
without.
at that 2022, they were still paying out $60,000 in overtime to 2 people, which is why they raised and went on to the scale.
Yeah, but you still have to figure that because they gave them raises, so.
I think we should still go to 1.4. Or you said, where we at for elections, you wanted to go how much, Commissioner?
They're 1.2,
And you were going an additional,
1.5.
that's 300? How about
Yes.
1.4? I think we're gonna need a little more there.
No, you have to.
No, you're going backwards.
Yeah, you're going-
One-
I think if we go 1.6.
1.6, I'd give them
we go
400,000,
1.6,
1.6.
that's a little bit, you're still.
It's in between,
You're still gonna need more money because of pay raise.
right? How about 1.6?
Yeah, let's do that.
1.6, Commissioner.
Start. But that's what, 400,000 more than them?
400.
Commissioners, will be a tab right here that I'm working on that will show you the
What we have
difference
left.
of what you're allocating. So far you've awarded an additional 1.9 are at tax.
1.9
So we're
without the
close.
sheriff.
With the sheriff, with giving him 500,000.
Oh, is that what's giving them
Yeah.
500?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's continue on, make adjustments again.
Yeah, I mean, just so you guys know where you're at.
The courts. I think we're good, and again, I want to commend the courts for. Working with us good, the probate or the juvenile judge came down voluntarily 700,000. The common pleas didn't raise a penny, they kept the same amount.
Okay. Where do we want to go here? Planning Commission,
Planning commission, we're good. The,
we got some things in works for the Planning Commission.
right. The general fund departments. I think that is where our. I'm okay with the whole rest of it being the same where it is and take that other 100 and put it into the general fund because we know electricity and some of the rates are gonna be higher, so I would,
Commissioners,
Why even mess with it? Just leave it there and then we can.
well, put it in the commissioners then, because we cut ourselves too bad.
Yeah, but we know it's there. If we have to, we can transfer some out.
And you said planning commission, I just want to make sure I captured what you wanted. So they,
Right where it is,
the 900,
yeah,
100 in the Commissioners, so
101, okay, so 93.
where's that put us?
Million.
You want to go back and look at it? Are we okay with
I'm
it?
okay. Are you guys okay with that? I mean,
Karen?
we're doing what
We're
we're.
doing due diligence, what we're elected to do.
We just ask them to do what they can.
I would appreciate, with this in mind, that the clerk would open up our mail system,
We don't need it. We have the prosecutor's office.
but I don't know how long will that last, Attorney, I mean,
Forever.
oh, so we're good with,
Oh, yeah.
we're good with that?
Yeah, commissioners, Bill Danzo, prosecutor's office, that's no problem. I mean,
reimburse as we reimburse, just
yeah,
reimburse.
we found a way right now to preliminarily track the amount of postage, so it's not a problem for us.
Actually, it's easier. They go down one flight and it's there. Oh,
I don't think our machine has got all the features that some of the machines have, but it's, it's fine by us.
Thank you, we appreciate that, and also,
again, tell, Dennis,
Commissioners.
really appreciate it. Sure.
I would hope that the auditor would work with us and not pursue any additional legal ramification or lawsuits with the commissioners.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand by these figures here, and I think we should defend these figures. But I don't wanna see any money wasted. If it is, then that's gonna have to come off the budget. If there's more funds on attorney fees from us and them. I would hope we'd be able to work this. This here should prevent, in a reasonable world with reasonable decision-making, any threat of employees being laid off.
Commissioners, instead of Nancy Blair clerk, this item was submitted again to next week's agenda.
I saw that.
Just-
But it was prior to this meeting. Okay, so I'm just reaching out to the auditor to ask her to take that off of well, we could do what we want to do, but these numbers, like Commissioner Malloy had said, should be appropriate to keep our departments in working order, so.
My reasoning with this stuff too is they're all getting at least what they had last year and some. And nobody's cut more than others when it comes to that. Maybe on their ask of what they wanted, but as far as on what they actually used, the only one that's taking a beating on this thing right now is the sheriff's department. And we know that, and we know that's, as I said before, we're gonna have to follow that throughout the year, month to month, and as more money comes in, that's gonna be the first one on the table to get fed is the sheriff's department to make sure that as they establish a new budget based on how bad the books were the last couple of years under the previous sheriff, that we're able to work with them to establish where their baseline is and where they need to be financially.
And we did free up an additional on the sideline million. Commissioner, out of that.
We did, as
So,
collateral.
You know, Mark, we have as a collateral, an additional million.
That million still there as collateral.
So,
We hope it doesn't have to be spent. We encourage that it's not. It may end up being spent in other areas that,
Well, the sheriff's department's making some headway. They're going after some grants and they're doing some things and they're looking at contracts.
Grants, we just gotta.
And they're bringing in some more revenue, you know, they're looking at some of these, on contracts that they had where they were losing money. So hopefully they'll correct all that, so every little bit,
No, we're working hard to.
now this still, I believe, is still a Band-Aid. This isn't the cure. This isn't a major surgery. This is a Band-Aid. We're still gonna be dealing with this in future years. My hopes would be that especially with the safety services, we take a look at the big picture, everything financially as we go through this process. And we're gonna do what's right for the people. We're gonna do what's right to provide the service that they demand and they deserve. Which we'll do everything we can to not put a burden on homeowners, but put a burden on the citizens, act within our budget better. And hopefully sales tax will rise. But if it doesn't, if it stays stagnant over the next year and we're back in these same situations again next year, you know, just we got to put everybody on alert, including the citizens. We have the lowest tax rate in the state of Ohio and Northeast Ohio, especially around us. Everyone around us has a higher sales tax than we do. And that means we have less money than everyone around us per capita to spend. So just throwing it out there that we're gonna have to monitor that.
and I would agree with you, Commissioner. In addition to that, though, the commissioners are working on a way to soften with the township some of their burden with the service, with their, well, I'm not gonna mention where we're at with that, but we will, I believe that the commissioners will be able to soften the burden on the townships with the service to save them money so that we can move forward with the sales tax issue to delegate to our safety services.
I think we're all in agreement. We're not gonna sit up here as three people and just impose anything. We're gonna work with the townships and work with all the other entities in making this decision, the state, the feds. We're gonna come up with the best financial formula that if we're gonna take something more from people, we're gonna give something back to at the same time. And I think we're working on a few plans for that will satisfy that people will see it's a good deal all the way around. If and when it happens.
Commissioners, just to make sure you're aware, anybody now, the buckets have changed a little bit, anybody in this kind of coral orangey color. Just so that you're clear, anybody in those colors, one, in the commissioners, the sheriff, county courts, municipal courts, and board of elections is still technically below what they were, what they actually spent last year, just so you're clear. That's all I want to do, is just
Yeah.
make sure you're aware.
Well,
But they all are sharing it almost equally now, I believe, without one department saying that they're singled out more of a loss than the others, with the exception of the sheriff's department.
So if
And we know we
total-
have
if
to
totaled
revisit.
those up, Alex, if we totaled those those five up,
Mhm.
how short are we?
From what they were got,
Yeah,
what they
not
were
counting,
got
not
last
counting
year,
the commissioners.
not counting the commissioners.
Right.
So the sheriff
We
is
already know about the sheriff too. so-
547 short. County courts is 58,000 short. Board of election, sorry, that's municipal courts It's roughly 111,000 short. Board of Elections is 500,000 short still. I just do my math real quick.
So we're about 700 without the sheriff and the commissioners.
And we can't dig in. You definitely have to leave that carryover. Revisit this monthly.
Yeah, 565, so I was. I'll add that up. Okay.
There's been naysayers with a lot of stuff, but I hope the public understands there's options. There could have been layoffs, there could have been a sales tax increase. We took the route, I think, by digging in our savings a little better, that we're able to avoid both of those scenarios at this point.
So we're still, if we were to take everybody to where they were last year, just FYI, you're still 1.281 short.
Great, okay.
Yeah, that's different. One thing I am not is a CPA or anything like that, so.
Well, that kind of concludes
Well,
this
it's fine.
meeting. Yeah. What we need to understand is we all need to work together. These departments, you need to work together to move this county forward. We should not be separated. The goal is to move our county in a positive direction, not a negative direction. So we hope that all the departments will work with the commissioners. We have some great things in the works. We have some plans. Get this monkey off our back and then start looking at our economic development and setting our sights on the betterment of the county.
And I'm just a brief look, I'm already getting a lot of thank yous from employees, department heads and public already on people that are listening, so.
It's great to hear.
So we'll put this on for Tuesday's workshop and pass it on Wednesday.
Commissioners, you technically have to first go through the Board of Revision system or Board of Citizens. What? No, what's it? Not the tax incentive, the
Budget
budget
commission.
review, the Budget Commission. They meet, I believe, on Monday, Mr. Danzo. Tell me if you were done.
Yeah, Bill Danzo, prosecutor's office. Yeah, my understanding is that there is a regular meeting on Monday morning.
Okay,
Um,
what time?
I believe it's at 10 o'clock. I apologize. I have not looked at my calendar for next week yet. I'll be honest.
Okay, so somebody from the Board of Commissioners needs to attend that meeting and formally make a request to have the $2 million
Well,
transferred.
Bill Danzo, prosecutor's office, again, my understanding was the way this has traditionally worked in the past, and I could be wrong on this, if there's somebody from the auditor's office listening in that could help out, it'd be great, but my recollection is that the way this would normally work is that the commissioners would actually first pass a resolution to transfer $2 million from those reserves
Okay.
into the general fund, which then would cause the budget commission to
Certified.
recertify that amended certificate of estimated resources. I think that's the process normally. Again, I'm not usually the financial person, so I'm a little bit out of my element here.
Can we do that today here in this
That's what I was
special
saying.
meeting?
Can we do that now?
The board, I think the public notice from the board did say
Yes.
to consider the transfer of those funds as
It did,
well,
yeah.
so I believe the board could do that.
So, yes, Commissioners, we need
You need a motion?
your staff make sure to ensure that should you choose a final dollar amount, that you make that motion.
Do we need to specify exactly how much out of each of those funds?
I don't think so.
So,
Just total.
Just to transfer the 2 million over. to the
well,
general
here's the
fund, right?
thing, the 2 million is inclusive of 921, 928. casino sales tax revenue as well as the MCO. So it is technically housed within 4 different funds, if you will. But you could just say, so you technically probably should delineate which you want that out of. Otherwise, the auditor and the review commission is just gonna take that.
How much is in casino funds?
Okay, so commissioners, you have at a 921, undivided sales tax is 6.566804. I can write it up here. Let's check this. Then you have 928, which is the FOJ, which again, you can only take monies out of that for its perspective, right, justice system. Oops. Okay, and then you have your casino tax shared revenue, which is 943. And last but not least, you have your MCO, which you guys already know is non-replenishable. That's Fund 949. You've chosen to spend $500,000 out of it onto the Valley Vision already, which takes your balance down to. There you go. That's how much you have in each.
So you just take.
Is that casino, the money in the casino, is that already in, is that part of the 64 million?
No, so they've put into your budget already the 2.2, I believe. Go back and check. So they earmarked out of casino 2.2 million. That is a good question. Is that already included? That's a great question. I don't know. Yeah, that's where we need the auditor. So all they know is on 2025, they had said, including in your estimated resources was 2.2 already of casino. Was that, is this additional left in reserve after? I'm not sure. We're gonna have to ask.
Bill, do you know?
Bill Danso, prosecutor's office. My recollection is that is the expected revenue throughout the year of that casino fund, like we do the sales tax. But again, I would really value the input of someone in the auditor's office to.
So that's not just sitting there, 2.5 isn't sitting there.
My recollection is that 2.5 actually is sitting there in this case. And what's been.
We'll make another 2 million over next year.
That's my understanding, but again, I really would urge the board maybe try to get some clarification somehow on that, because.
Another 2 million, you mean this year?
And that is, again, I am with Bill, Prosecutor Danzo, or Assistant Prosecutor Danzo on this. That was my interpretation of doing through one budget review committee. But
So how do we correct the problem on Monday, though? I mean, where we revise it?
Yeah, okay, so I make sure my numbers are up. And then if you're going to take 2 million.
Could we get those answers and then maybe do it on Tuesday at a workshop and then ask the board to be an emergency session?
We could, the budget commission could schedule a special meeting afterwards. I mean, if that's something that had to be done, of course, I'm only, one designee on that board.
Well, you
So-
think that they would all want to do it.
Yeah, I would, obviously it would have to be the board would have to all agree to that, to be, that showing up to that meeting.
That might be the way to go. Get all the answers on Tuesday. Pass it on Tuesday, first thing.
This has to be
And
done
then
by
they can
April
meet.
first, right?
Well, we gotta get the department heads today, you gotta get it back to us.
So we still, yeah, I gave us a week to be safe, when I was gonna get his.
Today's Friday, Monday, all we're doing is missing one day. Instead of Monday, we do it Tuesday, but hopefully we'll have all the answers by then.
So if somebody meets with just to be safe, I think that
Well,
again,
what is the harm of us taking out like that first one, 2 million, doing the resolution now so they have it for Monday? They
The
don't have to
only
meet.
problem is we don't know whether there's whether we can take it out of the casino or
Well, we
not.
just skip the casino and take it out on divided sales tax. We know that's there.
I mean, you could
Now we could do that.
do that.
And just be done with it. Take it out of that, be done with it. That way they have what they need Monday.
Yeah, we have to. move
It's
it.
semantics on which one we're gonna take it out.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Alright, so we'll just, on Monday. We just wanna make sure to let the Budget Review Commission again know of these. Then you'll have to pass a motion. So
So I
this,
guess I would make a motion now that we move $2 million out of Fund 921, put it into the general fund account number.
Account number.
it would just be 001. Well. That's a good question. Find a. Do we think the auditor would be willing if we called her or asked her to, or Chrissy Sterick to give us an idea of the proper accounts to put it into, because I don't
I
want that
think
to.
they have to do their job.
I don't want that to be on me, that I give you an account number and it's the wrong one, that's not my goal here, so. With the hundreds of thousands of accounts that you can see, I mean, it goes down to. I mean, we have hundreds of thousands of numbers of accounts.
Can we call down to the
As you
officer?
can see here, I mean, I can't, these are what your accounts look like. 001 dictates general fund, then it goes into the department level, then it goes into, I don't wanna do.
Rick, once you dial the auditor's work number, let's ask. Identify who you are, ask to talk to one of the two, sure they're listening. And see if they cooperate as far as
Mhm.
answering a question for the public, for the good of the public.
Would you like to call her Yoder or Christie, or who would you like to call?
I would call the general auditor's number and ask for one or two, not their cell phones.
Trumbull County Auditors.
Is Auditor Yoder, please?
Yeah.
Commissioner Hernandez? That's a question. Alex, you want to ask this question because I don't know.
Just take money out of 921.
Sorry, Martha Yoder is not available.
Record your
I know
message
she's
at the
listening.
tone.
There's
When
no
you
doubt
are
in my
finished,
mind, 100%
hang
she's
up or
listening.
press pound for more options.
Hi, Auditor Yoder, Commissioner Hernandez, the commissioners are here in a meeting, and we need some information from the Auditor's Department. It'd be appreciated if you would call us back.
That's it. Just call Chris, call and ask for Christie.
Chrissy, she have that?
Yes.
Trumbull County Auditor.
Hi, yeah, it's Rick Hernandez. Christie, Sesteric, please.
One moment. There's a bottom.
Hi, Chrissy, it's Rick Hernandez.
Okay.
Hi. We're here looking to transfer monies from one account to the other to put 2 million from fund number.
Undivided sales tax, I.
Alex, could you please give her that information?
Chris,
Yeah. Okay, good.
The commissioners are looking and they just want to be sure, they want to clarify one question with you. So in the reserve, the 921 undivided sales tax, we show a current balance of, which you guys did provide that to us, thank you, of 6.566804.17. They would like to entertain, they have not done yet, but they would like to entertain a motion to move $2 million out of that into their general fund appropriations. So they're asking what that account number, fund number specifically would be in 001 to transfer that out of 921 into 9001. And we just I don't want to give them the wrong information. That's not my expertise and I default to the experts on that.
Just 1 moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want the account that it would be going into?
Yeah, so we know it's gonna come from, and then Christy, just as a heads up, that somebody will be attending the budget review meeting on Monday to formally, obviously request this so we can get because then we still have to get the amended certificate, I believe.
The process on that should be the commissioners would approve a money transfer.
Okay,
And then as part of that money transfer, we would estimate the additional revenue on that.
okay, so if they
But
approve.
that's how it should get started. It's just they would have put, just kind of like how they passed the sales tax
Yes,
money transfer last week, they would just do the same thing.
okay, that's perfect. So if they approve that transfer today, in a public meeting, then that would trigger kind of the next steps to start rolling.
Correct, yes.
All right, thank you.
As part of that money transfer, we do the appropriations and the estimated revenue in the appropriate accounts.
Great.
No problem. When they do money transfers from 921, the revenue account on that is 001 000 9900 9900, and then 1413000.
Thank you so much. 001-000-9900-9900-141-41300.
That's it.
Awesome. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Anything else?
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
A motion for what she said. Now you make a motion to move, to do money transfer from 921 and the 001 000 9900 9900 1413000.
2 million.
$2 million.
Second motion?
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Mr. Bernard.
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes. Budget Commission meets on Monday,
Yes.
then we can,
Lisa, can you write that up as we normally
Yeah.
motion, get it to them so they know for their agenda for Monday?
okay, commissioners, is there anything else that we need to discuss about budget?
Not that I have, you know, I just don't appreciate, I guess, I'll reiterate too, because I got some bashing on this. We said before this wasn't finalized, and here we are proving it. And I believe there's some people jumped the gun, and some of the things that went on with some of the threats of lawsuit, the shutting down of printing machines or postage meters, you know, that's just, you know, we're all on the same team. And I, like I said before, you know, you don't have to like, a quarterback doesn't have to like his wide receiver. And the wide receiver doesn't have to come to the quarterback's kid's birthday party. But when it's game time, you better damn well catch the ball if the quarterback throws it to him, because we're all trying to score a touchdown. So that's all I ask with all our department heads, all our departments is when it comes to what's in the best benefit of the taxpayers, we keep the taxpayers in the business of what we do first. Keep all that other stuff aside, keep politics out of it, keep personal feelings out of it, and just do what's right for the taxpayers. We're all adults, we're all professionals with this. We should move forward together that way to benefit the taxpayers. That what we went through the last couple of weeks helped nobody. It just created bad morale and scared people, and scared some people that just want to come to work and do their job. We went through 4 years of employees being scared. We don't need another boogeyman. We got rid of the boogeyman. So and now we checked under the bed. There's no monster under the bed. We can all move forward now happy.
Okay, I agree, Commissioner. We'll need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn?
Second,
Mr. Bernard,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes. Okay.